Good morning. Welcome to another Monday Mindset. It is November 25th, the week of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is late this year. I don't know if you guys feel the same. I think it is actually late this year, it feels. So later Thanksgiving, my wife and I were already set up the Christmas tree this weekend. The kids loved it. It was amazing. It's going to be an amazing week. Can't have a Monday Mindset without talking about gratitude a little bit. And I wrote down this quote by Willie Nelson, which I love. Willie Nelson said, "When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around." Love that because so much of life is perspective. And a lot of times you can be in the hustle, the grind mentality. You can be pushing and never actually stop and just reflect and never stop and be present in the moment. You're always kind of looking for the next thing, but never counting your blessings, as they say, to help give you perspective. And I would just share with you, if you're down and out, if you're feeling a little rough, if you're feeling a little unmotivated, one of the best things you can do is change your perspective. And how you do that is by practicing gratitude. Start writing down, start thinking about all the things you're thankful for. It is Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for being part of this group, thankful for Joe and Tony and allowing me this opportunity, thankful for Lily putting all the stuff together that she always does. I want to talk today about social media for 2025. All of you guys are preparing your budgets, you're preparing your strategic initiatives and your marketing plans. At least I hope you are for 2025. How should you think about content? And what are some of the things that we're seeing from a content perspective that you should also be seeing and think about? One is, I would tell you that rapidly happening follower count matters less and less and less. Now the whole algorithms on Meta are really changing to suggested based. So it's no longer where you're even seeing your friends post as much or the people that you follow as much. It's, Instagram is trying to feed you what it thinks you'd be interested in. And they're mimicking that off of TikTok. TikTok just took the world by storm because it really became like crack, man. People got on TikTok and it just kept feeding them exactly what they wanted and they stayed on it. It became addictive. I don't know if you guys find yourself addicted to TikTok, but it did become really, really addictive. It's kind of crazy. What's up, Joe? Good morning. So Instagram, same way. Meta, the same way. And the algorithm shifting. It's less about followers. It's more about the quality of the content that you post and consistency of content. I know Gary Vaynerchuk is recommending that you go post 2 times a day, whether they're posts or videos. Not as much focus on quality of like professionalism of production versus what I would call like raw or authentic production. But 2 times a day is what he's recommending. I know Adam Mosseri, who's the CEO of Instagram, came out saying that Instagram looks for about 3 to 5 posts a week from you in order to determine that you are a account that is active. So you should at least be posting 3 to 5 times a week. When I think about content, what I would encourage you is the hardest part about content in my mind is how do you continuously come up with it after you've been doing it over and over and over again? In fact, we built a whole product at Reminder Media, our social media automation tool, which gives you a library of content for entrepreneurs in tons of different categories so they can actually go to this library and get content and be able to post on that, do green screens, do a bunch of different stuff. But for you specifically, you should walk through the exercise of writing down your content pillars and then what a lot of people call your value pillars. So your content pillars are what you want to post about every single day, that you're living your life. These are the things that you want to post about. So for me, I call it like the 5 F's. I'm going to be using social media to post probably about my family and connect with family, post about my friends and what I'm doing there and connect with friends, post about my money, so finances and what's happening with my money, post about my fitness and what I'm trying to do there, and then post about my faith. I call it the 5 F's. So you should be a 5-dimensional man where you have your family in check, your friendships in check, your finances in check, your fitness in check, and your faith in check. And so those would be, let's say, my content pillars. But you can go deeper than that. Maybe your content pillar is music, right? So I want to post about my hobbies, and one of my hobbies is music. So I'm going to be posting about music. Or maybe you're really into pets because you have a dog or something like that. So you can post about your pets. Like you write down your 3 to 5 content pillars. Like this is the stuff I'm going to post about. And then you move to your value pillars. And your value pillars are, how are you going to post about those things? And some ideas would be, are you going to be an educator in how you post? So if my content pillars are finance and faith, let's say, am I going to post through value by giving you education on finance and faith? Maybe it's entertainment, or a lot of people want to combine education and entertainment, call it edutainment, or however you want to pronounce that. But maybe it's entertainment, so I'm going to be more entertaining in how I post, a little bit more out there in personality, a little bit more out there. Maybe I use comedy because, I have that comedic trend in me to post. I don't, as you guys know. But maybe entertainment is where you want to post. Maybe it's inspirational, right? So your value might be inspirational. So you want to be giving things and telling stories that would inspire people to take action or inspire people in their everyday life. Maybe it's aspirational. But the whole concept here is that you're going through the exercise that goes in 2025. What are your content pillars that you want to constantly posting about? Why would you want to define this? Well, if you think about it, you as a user of social media are really using this to grow your brand, to grow your business, right? I'm sure you are entertained by social media and you like using it to connect with people, but ultimately it's a business tool. It's a marketing tool. So why you want to take the time to determine your content pillars is because you want to ask yourself, what do I want the world to think about when they think about Luke Acree or Reminder Media? What do I want them to know about me so they actually come and use me? So one of your content pillars should be your business, right? One of your content pillars should be the industry that you serve or the products and offerings that you're giving. You want to educate people on that, entertain people on that, inspire people on that. These content pillars, you will then go and deliver through your value pillars. So it's a critical exercise so you can then utilize 365 days a year, dripping on people on this type of content. The effect that happens over long periods of time is it starts to build your brand. When we first started the podcast, when we first started things like this Monday Mindset, when we started these things, the truth is, like, a lot of the industry and most of the industry still doesn't know who Luke Acree is. They don't know who I am. They don't know what I'm trying to do. And so these things, one-offs, don't do me any good. But building and stacking over time, that I'm constantly talking about marketing, constantly talking about motivation, constantly talking about business. You guys naturally have come to know Luke Acree as a guy that cares about marketing, he cares about mindset, he cares about business. So it actually starts to brand me in your mind, and that reflects into all my products and services that I offer to people based upon the content that I'm putting out. So define your content pillars. Then think about your value pillars and how you want to put that out. And then the last exercise that I think you should do for 2025 is, I think, the best type of content is personal content. And this is coming from a guy that offers you a product that gives you a bunch of curated content. So the reason why I tell people, hey, buy our curated content, because, it's literally pennies on the dollar compared to your time. But the truth is, you might not be posting consistently enough, and as much as you want to do it, you're just going to fail and you're not going to do it. So you might as well at least have curated content that you desire going up on your page. So it's better than nothing. But if you could just do personal content all day long, that would actually be better for your social media, because personal content is more authentic. Authentic content tends to get better engagement. And so if you can be personal in the way you post, that is incredible. So if you think about the exercise, you have your content pillars, you have your value pillars of how you want to display them. And the third exercise would be, write down the timeline and stories of your life. This was a lesson I learned. I think it was Grant Cardone that first gave it to me years and years ago in a training that I went through with him. But essentially what you're doing is you are writing out who Luke Acree is. So for me, it would be grew up in Fluvanna County, Virginia. What are defining things about me? Grew up in a family of 8 kids. So 5 brothers, 2 sisters. Grew up the son of a pastor. Lived in the church housing. Grew up really lower end, middle class. I'm writing defining things about me. And then I'd go through my life. Was homeschooled all the way to college. started music at a young age. When I went to a Christian camp at like 11 years old, saw a kid playing guitar and fell in love with it and thought I was going to be a musician. And I'm writing that stuff down, right? My wife went to the church I grew up to, so met my wife, dated in high school, went to college together, went to community college, transferred after 2 years for a 4-year degree, started Nextmark Design, my first business in college. I would write these defining things down. This is what I'm asking you to do. Because now, when you hit that low of knowing what you want to post about, this is a great resource to go to. You have your life mapped out and the major things that define who you are, your values, things that have happened to you, the things about you that connect you to the world. Then what you think about is, how do I pull in a personal thing about me, tied to my content pillar, and then basically put it into content through my value pillar. This is where you get really, really powerful stuff, because you're able to utilize your personal life, which allows people to know, like, and trust you. You display your content, then you display it through your values. So a perfect example would be, hey, I grew up in a family of 8 kids. My dad was a pastor. I didn't realize this growing up because my parents were so incredible, but we were really poor. We never went out to eat. I remember Book It Pizza, reading the book to go get a pizza was awesome. Well, that had an impact on me, because every time I saw my parents pay the bills, they always got stressed out. And I told myself at a young age, I don't want to be poor. So maybe that's a classic story for a lot of entrepreneurs or a lot of business people, is you don't want to be poor. I didn't want to be poor. That really drove me to get my finances right. And the number one thing I've learned from going from having no money to being a multimillionaire is X. And all of a sudden, now I've tied you in. I've given you a little bit about my background and my life, authentic and true to me. It led into my content of wanting to talk about finance and getting your finances right, and then led me to my principle of what I want to share to inspire people of how they take action on that. You see how it could work? And then if you get really good, if you've mapped out your life, then what happens is you look at what's happening in current times, the things that are on the news, and you do what's called trend hacking, right? Or trend jacking. And what you want to look at is what's trending, and how do you tie into what's trending based upon the story of your life. And maybe you can tie it into an event that's happening today, and then use that to move into what you want to talk about in your content pillars and your value of how you want to display it. But trend jacking or trend hacking is a great thing, where you go and you look at popular stuff. And this is really easy to understand when you look at memes. Memes basically are a trend hack, right? You see a meme become popular, or you see something happen with like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, right? We're all sick of it, but that's a trending thing that was happening and still is, obviously. And people will make it into memes, and then they take those memes down to their actual little business niche that they're in, and it resonates with the people that they want to get in front of. That's the same concept, as you take world events, things that are happening, things that are popular right now, and you tie it to your life, and then you share your content pillars and value pillars. So when you think about social media for 2025, know this: follower counts don't really matter. Views and likes are really in a shift right now. They're very interesting right now. What is really happening is Instagram and Facebook have switched their algorithm to be way more suggested content than even the people that you follow, because they believe they can keep you on the platform longer, which hence they can sell more advertising to you if they do that. So what matters way more is the quality of the content that you put out. There's 2 routes to go with quality. There's the production route, where you've really thought about what you're doing, you put a lot of effort and time to it, or there's the authentic route, which is more raw, and you can get away with just being yourself and being a personality. Remember, your social media should be like a TV reality show, not a commercial. If you find yourself where it's more like a commercial than a reality show, that's probably why you're not engaging very much on social media. So there you have it. There is my tips for you for social media for 2025. Hope that is helpful. Can't believe it's already the week of Thanksgiving. Like I said, take Willie Nelson's advice. When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. That's Willie Nelson for you on Monday, November 25th at 10:15 on this Monday Mindset. Get out there. Win for you, win for your family, win for your friends. Let's make it a great week. Have a great Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for all of you. Appreciate you. Let's close 2025 strong.